It may get bigger, it may get a little bigger, it may not get bigger at all. We'll see what happens. But regardless of what happens, we're totally prepared.
I mean, you notice I haven't been commenting a lot on politics lately. But here's one thing I know. If you have to win a campaign by dividing people, you're not going to be able to govern them. You won't be able to unite them later if that's how you start.
Now, you got to get your governor to open up your state, okay? And get your schools open. Get your schools open. The schools have to be open, right? Lock them all up.
I'm angry, and so I'm voting for Donald Trump. I'm angry about illegal immigration, and so I'm voting for Donald Trump because he said he would build a huge wall to keep out just the sort of undocumented workers he hired to clear the ground for Trump Tower in New York City, and because he said he'd force all the illegals to leave the country and then let them all back in, and he said he'd limit the number of skilled workers that can come here, and then he said he wouldn't do that, and then he secretly told the New York Times he didn't mean any of it, so I don't really know what the hell he's saying, but I'm angry, so I'm voting for him. I'm angry about Islamic terrorism, so I am voting for Donald Trump because he said he'd register all Muslim Americans in a database so he could track them, and that he'd not only torture terrorists, but kill their wives and children. And even if that was against the law, he'd order the military to do it, and they'd have to, because he would be the president, and they'd have to do what he said, because this is America, where the president doesn't have to obey the law and can do whatever he wants. And he'll build up the military without it costing anything, and okay, none of that makes any sense, but it doesn't matter, because I'm angry, so I'm voting for him. I'm angry about political correctness, too. And so I am voting for Donald Trump because he just comes right out and makes fun of handicapped people and short people and anyone who doesn't have as much money as he does, and women especially. He makes fun of their looks and their periods, and he says they should be treated like shit. And I just think actually, that's not exactly politically incorrect. That's more like evil, really. But I'm angry, so I'm voting for him. And I'm angry about free trade for some reason, and about people making stuff cheaper overseas so it costs less here and I can afford it. And I'm angry about the Democrats Donald Trump gave money to, and all the money we spend on entitlements that he says he'll keep spending. And so I'm voting for Donald Trump because I'm angry, and I don't make very good decisions when I'm angry. So maybe I should calm down and vote for someone else who would be like a better president and not such a schmuck. I'm Andrew Klavan for the Daily Wire.
Retired Navy Admiral William McRaven, the former commander of the U.S. Special Operations Command, says Biden will make America lead again. McRaven, most famous for overseeing some of the most important operations in U.S. history, such as the raid that killed OBL, the capture of Iraqi President Saddam Hussein, and the rescue of Captain Phillips from Somali pirates. Admiral McRaven joins us now. Admiral, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, most importantly, for your nearly 4 decades of service to this nation. I want to start with your op-ed in the Wall Street Journal today. You write, quote, "I am a pro-life, pro-Second Amendment, small government, strong defense, and a national anthem standing conservative." But I also believe that Black Lives Matter, that the Dreamers deserve a path to citizenship, that diversity and inclusion are essential to our national success, that education is the great equalizer, that climate change is real, and that the First Amendment is the cornerstone of our democracy. Most important, I believe that America must lead in the world with courage, conviction, and a sense of honor and humility, unquote. Was it a difficult decision to announce that you're voting for Biden? This is the first time you've ever publicly weighed in on a presidential race.
Well, it was a difficult decision, Jake, to announce that I was voting. Obviously, you know, as a senior retired military officer, these are challenging times, and there's a little bit of an unwritten rule that senior officers don't come out and endorse a candidate. However, I felt that the direction of the country was heading in such a bad direction that we needed new leadership, and that Joe Biden will be a much, much better leader than Donald Trump. The one thing I know about leadership, Jake, is that if you are going to lead in challenging times, you have to build alliances, you have to build coalitions, you have to have friends and allies. And we've got a lot of challenges ahead of us. I mean, we've got a rising China, we've got an aggressive Russia, we've got a North Korea with ICBMs that may be nuclear tipped soon. And of course, we have the second wave of the pandemic. You cannot confront those challenges unless you have alliances. And this president has proven he doesn't want alliances domestically, and he doesn't want alliances internationally. I mean, he's pulled out of the TPP, he has pulled out of the JCPOA, the Iranian nuclear agreement, he has pulled out of everything from UNESCO to the Open Skies to the World Health Organization. Now, not all those organizations and all those treaties are great, but what they allow us to do is to maintain and strengthen alliances. So when you have these challenges, you have folks around you that can help you solve them.
As far as temperament, I think I have a great temperament. I built a phenomenal business with incredible, iconic assets. I've had tremendous success with #1 bestsellers all over the place and everything else I've done. But I will tell you this, what I am far and away greater than an entertainer is a businessman. And that, believe me, my temperament is very good, very calm.
You are a blabbermouth! A blabbermouth! You! Blabbermouth! Out! Out!
traveled the world to learn I must return from Russia with love. I've seen places, faces, and smiled for a moment, but oh, you haunted me so. Still my tongue-tied young pride would not let my love for you show, in case you'd say no. To Russia I flew, but there and then I suddenly knew you'd care again. My running around is through. I fly to you from Russia with love.
By the way, when Obama went on TV to announce that they'd killed bin Laden, he spoke for 9.5 minutes. Trump yesterday did 48 minutes on this. And for further comparison, we thought it might be fun to mash up Trump's speech about al-Baghdadi with Obama's about bin Laden, and we were right, it was.
The United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden.
Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is dead.
The United States launched a targeted operation against that compound.
They did a lot of shooting, and they did a lot of blasting, even not going through the front door. You know, you think you go through the door. If you're a normal person, you say, knock, knock, may I come in?
After a firefight, they killed Osama bin Laden and took custody of his body.
He died like a dog.
But his death does not mark the end of our effort.
A beautiful dog, a talented dog.
We give thanks for the men who carried out this operation.
And I don't get any credit for this, but that's okay. I never do. But here we are.
May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.
And I'm writing a book. I think I wrote 12 books. All did very well.
Well, I want to talk to the Trump supporters for a minute. What is Donald Trump's campaign about? He's a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot. And you know how you make America great again? Tell Donald Trump to go to hell. If you can't admire Joe Biden as a person, then it's probably you got a problem. You need to do some self-evaluation. Because what's not to like? He is as good a man as God ever created. He had some of the most incredibly heartfelt things that anybody could ever say to me. He's the nicest person I think I've ever met in politics. This is a defining moment in the future of the Republican Party. We have to reject this demagoguery, and if we don't reject Donald Trump, we've lost the moral authority, in my view, to govern this great nation.
We vote him away. Vote him away, 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 vote him away. In the White House, the mighty White House, the liar tweets tonight. In the West Wing, the self-obsessed wing, the liar tweets tonight. Exotic liar. He says, hush you doctors, hush reporters, hush you science nerds. Look, my ratings are through the roof when I just say happy words. Everyone can get a test. It's just the flu. It's a hoax like all the rest. A left-wing coup. We've got lots of PPE. The cupboard's bare. It's Obama's fault, you see. The buck stops there. In the country, the quiet country, no nurses sleep tonight. But in the White House, the full of shite house, the liar tweets tonight.
Sorry for dripping, but drip is what I do. And one of these days I'm gonna get dressed and drip all over you.
I'm Donald Trump Jr. I'm the son of the President of the United States. He's one of the most unethical humans in political history. Criminal conduct, prostitution, human trafficking rings, threats of extortion, business meetings, Russia collusion, public service, cocaine. The corruption extends beyond ethical concerns. It's potentially criminal. My father was threatening to withhold U.S. aid to Ukraine by effectively blackmailing the Ukrainian government with taxpayer money. My father leveraged his political power to sell out the United States of America to our enemies and enrich himself. Cocaine. Do you know who was bought and paid for by the Kremlin? The President of the United States, who also happened to be one of Vladimir Putin's closest associates. The dark and complex interlacings of corruption within the family has now been exposed. We need someone who will put the interests of the American people over the interests of themselves. And that person is Vice President Joe Biden. Cocaine.
We have it totally under control. It's one person coming in from China.
We think we have it very well under control. We pretty much shut it down, coming in from China.
You know, in April, supposedly it dies with the hotter weather. When it gets warm, historically, that has been able to kill the virus.
People are getting better. They're all getting better.
And the 15 within a couple of days is going to be down to close to zero.
It's going to disappear. One day it's like a miracle. It will disappear.
And you'll be fine. They're going to have vaccines, I think, relatively soon. Not only the vaccines, but the therapies. Therapies is sort of another word for cure.
We're talking about very small numbers in the United States.
Our numbers are lower than just about anybody.
It's really working out, and a lot of good things are going to happen.
And we are responding with great speed and professionalism. It's going to go away.
Yeah, no, I don't take responsibility at all.
We're going to all be great. We're going to be so good. This came up, we came up so suddenly.
This is a pandemic. I felt it was a pandemic long before it was called a pandemic. All you had to do is look at other countries.
The coronavirus, you know that, right? Coronavirus. And this is their new hoax. We're 15 people in this massive country. And because of the fact that we went early. We went early. We could have had a lot more than that. We're doing great. Our country is doing so great.
He played more golf last year than Tiger Woods. No, think of it. We don't have time for this. We don't have time for this. We have to work.
Then candidate Donald Trump taking a few shots at President Barack Obama for playing golf.
And I won't be playing golf instead of going to see the people in Louisiana who have been devastated by floods.
But that was then. This is now.
Look at that. Look at that.
As president, Donald Trump's visited 2 Florida golf courses he owns near Mar-a-Lago nearly every weekend since taking office.
The woman that you said was a great doctor in that video that you retweeted last night said that masks don't work and there is a cure for COVID-19, both of which health experts say is not true. She's also made videos saying that doctors make medicine using DNA from aliens and that they're trying to create a vaccine to make you immune from becoming religious.
Well, maybe it's the same, maybe it's not, but I can tell you this. She was on air along with many other doctors. They were big fans of hydroxychloroquine, and I thought she was very impressive in the sense that from where she came, I don't know which country she comes from, but she said that she's had tremendous success with hundreds of different patients. And I thought her voice was an important voice, but I know nothing about her.
Masks don't work.
Go ahead, Paul.
Last week you said masks. Last week, well, real quick. Last week you said
Thank you very
masks
much,
was
everybody.
supposed to-
Thank you.
Caitlin, you were asking important questions, and even some of the president's retweets overnight, they were taken off Twitter, for example, because they were suggesting there's no need to wear a mask, and they were suggesting hydroxychloroquine could potentially, quote, cure coronavirus when there's absolutely no evidence of that.
Well, Wolf, not only that, the video was removed from Twitter, it was removed from Facebook, and it was removed from YouTube. Unfortunately, after it had been viewed millions of times, and that's because they said there was misinformation in those videos that were elevated by the president. And the one he was citing, there was a woman in the video, she identifies herself as a doctor, and Wolf, she says that masks do not work, and she says there is a cure for COVID-19. Of course, 2 things that health experts have said is not true. And so I was asking the president about that. She's also made a host of bizarre other claims, including saying that scientists are trying to come up with a vaccine to prevent you from being religious, things of that nature. And so I asked the president what was the logic in elevating a post like that to 84 million followers of his on Twitter, and he was defending it. He was saying that he didn't know where the doctor was from, but he was talking about how she was citing her personal experience with hydroxychloroquine in patients, though of course we don't actually know how that was used or anything like that. That's why the video was removed. But then also, Wolf, by the president retweeting that, it's contradicting what he has said in the last 7 days, which is he was saying that people should be wearing masks, that they do work, and that they are helpful in stopping the spread of COVID-19. But as I was trying to ask that question, the president turned and left the briefing room. It's not clear why he would retweet something if he wasn't going to defend tweeting that. But it was just a question that many people have because, you know, is he going against the advice of his doctors and instead elevating the opinions of these other people that are not people who work in the administration, are not working on the COVID-19 response? And so that was the question that we had for the president.
They were a pair of political consultants who needed a break.
That's it. We're finished, through, kaput.
Don't say that, Max.
Let's face it, Bloom, we haven't had a winning campaign in years.
Max, do you realize that under the right circumstances, it might be possible for us to make more money from a losing candidate than from a winner?
What did you just say?
First we find a bad candidate, then we raise money like crazy, and we promise all the donors an ambassadorship to Italy or Sweden or Armenia. Then when the public figures out what a nutcase our guy is, he drops out of the race.
And we keep all the dough. Oh, darling Bloom, glorious Bloom, you bloody little genius, you.
Max, don't.
But wait, Wait, this candidate. He's got to be the worst candidate in history. A real train wreck, a schmuck, a putz, a grade A, world-class, gold-plated nincompoop. Where would we ever find a buffoon like that?
And now, a message from the boardroom.
Many people have been asking about my desk and the fact that I have so many papers on my desk. It's actually very neat, but if you look around, I mean, there's a lot of stuff. I've noticed over the years, successful people have a lot going on their desk.
Hand me the phone.
My desk is in my office.
Phone.
My desk is a very important part of me. If it's not perfectly...
Hello. Oh.
I think that's
Hello,
something
operator.
I actually think that's a good thing.
Get me the boardroom. You know which one.
They had a foolproof plan.
There's a new horse in the race for the White House. His name, Donald J. Trump. Can he beat the establishment? Who will support him? Fiscal conservatives? The religious right? Or crazy old semi-racist white people?
You're sure he can win, Mr. Bialystok?
Oh, Mrs. Kaminsky, Donald Trump is the very definition of a winner.
Just read the pin.
Bless you, Mrs. Kaminsky. Bless you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I keep the checky. Thank you.
Got it.
Thank you, Mrs. Kaminsky. Yes. Goodbye, Mrs. Kaminsky. Here we go. That's a girl. Oh. Beautiful, beautiful. We're going right out the door. All right, easy now. Easy. We don't have time for that. Easy. All right. Don't worry. It's only 6 flights. Bye. Bye. Thank God for Citizens United.
That makes 22 ambassadors to France so far.
And 25 million bucks. Bloom. I have to tell you, running Trump was smart. But your idea about building a wall across the Mexican border, brilliant.
Not as brilliant as your idea about making the Mexicans pay for it.
He won't last a week.
Oh, look, Max, this is it.
I will build a great wall on our southern border, and I will have Mexico pay for that wall. Mark my words.
We're in the money. We're in the money.
But they picked the wrong fool.
Good news for Donald Trump. The whole world has gone stark raving mad for him. Like these 2 loony birds, these numbskulls, and even this wackadoodle.
You ready for a catastrophe who will let our warriors do their job and go kick ISIS ass?
His campaign team must be thrilled.
He's still in the lead, Max.
How could this happen?
Well, I hear he's a proven businessman who knows how to get things done.
Yeah, and he will stand up to the Mexicans.
I can't believe this. It's not possible. Where did we go right?
I don't know.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did he question John McCain's war heroism?
Yes.
Did he say we should forcibly kick out 11 million immigrants?
Yes.
Did he propose banning all 1 billion Muslims from entering the U.S.?
See.
Did he say Heidi Klum was no longer a 10?
Yes. Yes.
Nothing is working, Max. Nothing.
Oh, no. No!
Just in time for the election, it's a story that starts off funny and then gets really, really depressing.
We needed a chump to put on the stump. A frumpy, grumpy, jumpy named Donald J. Trump. He's building a wall
1,000 feet tall.
Don't worry, cause the Mexicans will pay for it all.
From the producers of The Producers comes the movie that'll make America great again. Nathan Lane, Matthew Broderick, and Cloris Leachman star in
You've been
Trumped.
Maybe he won't be such a bad president.
Bing, bing, bong, bong, bing, bing, bing. Whoa.
What have we done?
If I decide to run for office, I'll produce my tax returns, absolutely. Tax returns are very complicated. I have many, many companies. I have,
tremendously, I have a very complex system of taxes. We'll make a determination over the next couple of months. It's very complicated.
I don't mind releasing. I'm under a routine audit, and it'll be released. And as soon as the audit's finished, it'll be released.
The White House response is that he's not going to release his tax returns. We litigated this all through the election. People didn't care.
It'll all be revealed. It's going to come out. But after the audit is, they're doing their assessment. We've been negotiating for a long time, but the story is a total fake. I will tell you that I look forward to releasing that. I look forward to releasing many things. I'm going to release many things, and people will be really shocked. Had Andrew Jackson been a little bit later, you wouldn't have had the Civil War. He was a very tough person, but he had a big heart, and he was really angry that he saw what was happening with regard to the Civil War. He said, "There's no reason for this." People don't realize, the Civil War.
Yeah.
You think about it, why? People don't ask that question. But why was there the Civil War? Why could that one not have been worked out?
I want to talk to the Trump supporters for a minute. I don't know who you are, and I don't know why you like this guy.
Whatever he does, he accuses everyone else of doing. The man cannot tell the truth, but he combines it with being a narcissist. A narcissist at a level I don't think this country's ever seen.
And my concern is that he would grab up that power and really treat the country as sort of his little bully fiefdom.
Donald Trump is everything I taught my children not to do in kindergarten.
He's been exploiting working Americans for 40 years.
He's a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot.
He says he's for the little guy, but he's actually built a lot of his businesses on the backs of the little guy.
Donald Trump the other day said that, quote, if he tells a soldier to commit a war crime, the soldier will just go do it.
And I don't think Donald Trump has even read the Constitution, knows what's in the Constitution.
A toxic mix of demagoguery and mean-spiritedness and nonsense.
I just cannot support Donald Trump.
Donald Trump is a delusional narcissist and an orange-faced windbag.
Donald Trump is a con artist.
He doesn't know the difference between truth and lies. He lies practically every word that comes out of his mouth.
I think he's a kook. I think he's crazy. I think he's unfit for office.
If you're blue and you don't know what to do now, pick up the phone and call the friend. Hello? Hey girl, make a plan to vote. Oh, I've already filled out my bubbles.
If you plan to mail your ballot, please make sure to do it early so it counts. Make a plan to vote.
Serious.
If you go in person, keep your distance. Wear a mask, be patient, and use lots of sanitizer.
Voting is our civic duty. Every voice is truly worthy. Don't forget.
Make a plan to vote.